Hello everyone. I'd like to give you a little bit of insight into one of the many ways that Google Plus has made the world a much smaller and better place, and how different Google Plus is compared to other social media platforms. Because really, Google Plus is not so much a social media platform as it is a social media operating system for your lives and our lives. And I'm going to go ahead and give you an example of how small the world is becoming by using these types of applications. And this method in the g-++.com course, which is complimentary if you're already a member to networkempire.com. And we're going to talk a little bit about what I call the Hollywood course. Here's a little one of our logos that we created imitating the Hollywood 20th Century Fox pre-roll for Network Empire. And I want to talk a little bit about celebrity. And when I talk about celebrity, I really want to talk about how if you can get a celebrity to talk to you or begin to make friends and have positive things to say back and forth to someone who's extremely famous, then you can also, of course, just plug and play any kind of relationship, either marketing or business or consulting, as long as you're polite and friendly and you show respect. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about my favorite actress, Jeri Ryan, who's actually, I consider her a tech goddess. She's very prolific in using Twitter. In fact, she is considered one of the most highly active Twitter users in Hollywood. And I built a small Twitter-based relationship with her early on when we were writing our book for networkempire.com, where I used the Borg and artificial intelligence as a metaphor for our first module, which again is available to anybody using networkempire.com. But the point here is that I got a couple tweetbacks from her, and we went back and forth on a couple topics. And her recent body of work is a ABC special called Body of Proof. And that's, she's known as 7 of 9 from Star Trek. The bottom line here is that although she's my favorite actress, I've actually carried on a conversation with her on Google Plus. And more importantly, I just want you to be aware of how small Google Plus has made the world. If you'd like to establish a relationship with somebody, regardless of who you are, it doesn't take that much when you know the right things and you set up your profile and you say things that are congruent and appropriate. Obviously, I'm a fan, and she knows that. I also track certain kinds of celebrity status because they are. It's very interesting. Google has verified Google Plus names. Okay, so again, if you look up Jeri Ryan on Google, you'll see that her Google Plus account is very high on the search engines. This is very good for celebrities and marketing celebrities and micro celebrities. Micro celebrities are anybody, like for myself, for example. I have several hundred students. I'm not a big famous person, don't ever plan to be, but I could consider myself a micro celebrity within a particular industry, whereas Jeri Ryan is obviously a major celebrity. So when you go and you look at your settings, go ahead and click on your number, and if you go down, you can see that Jeri Ryan +1 my comment on a post. Okay, so that really had to do with Jeri Ryan's personal Google verified post. I occasionally check in to see what she's doing. I watch her body of work because as a Star Trekkie and a Star Trek fan, she is an important character for the whole Trek regime. So of course I'm able to follow a lot of the sci-fi folks like William Shatner of Star Trek. They've adopted Google Plus fairly quickly, and since Jeri was already a prolific tweeter, we're talking sometimes up to 20 times a day. I consider her a tweet addict. It was obvious that she would adapt Google Plus very quickly, which she did. And she actually had a post that was technologically interesting to me. And so I tried what I called the Hollywood tactic on her. Okay. And the post that she added was, "I am now the proud owner, finally, of a fully functional of this decade computer." And I actually ended up befriending her computer tech person in Hollywood who works on her tech on her tech machine, because I found something that he said very interesting. So I circled him, and he ended up being back and forth with me because he was at the time in São Paulo, Brazil, and I had been there before, and so on and so forth. So the point is that the world is very small. I never met any of these people. I'm a nobody, and there's a circle of Hollywood, a little Hollywood rapport there. And, she discussed something, and I felt that it was interesting. She had 586 comments, 22 shares, and the point is that I tried something a little bit different than what she had done. sorry, what everybody else had done. What I did is I wanted to build rapport, and like I said, I've communicated with her before. And let me just go over to this post and show you what I ended up doing. In order to find the specific post to some of the hundreds of posts that I have interacted with, if you click on this side here, you can just click on your post. Okay, it's going to take you to the specific post of Jerry's that had to do with the interaction with what we were talking about. And she was talking about, the reason I responded is because it was in my area of expertise. I'm thinking there might need to be a hangout in the near future, if anyone's interested. She's teasing, of course, because she's famous and so on and so forth. Getting followers is not a problem for her. So everybody just kind of like, put their blah, blah, blah. Just comment, comment, comment. So what I ended up doing is I ended up pointing out some technical knowledge, because this was an experiment, guys. Believe me, I'm not overly concerned with having ongoing dialogues with actors and actresses. That's not my focal point. But I wanted to do an experiment on behalf of my users in G+. So what I ended up doing is I ended up commenting myself about some of the challenges that were going on with the Hangouts area, the Hangouts function of Google+ at the time. And you can see what I said is plus Jerry Ryan. And we teach you all of this in the course, okay? This is Jerry's. Whenever you add plus to somebody's name, this is a Google verified Jerry Ryan. This is how we know that the actors and the actresses, the celebrities, the politicians, and the real people are who they say they are, that they are not marketers like myself who've swiped and grabbed up celebrity names like we used to do in the 90s and squatted on them. Okay, so you can also see that I have celebrity followers experience. I have her in a special circle because I'm actually following those and tracking them. I said plus Jerry Ryan, and that automatically sends it to her email if she has her email turned on and her settings in Google+ turned on. And notice that most of the people in this thread did not do that. They did not do plus Jerry Ryan, probably because they don't know how. And I probably did get into her email box, and because she's a super geek, she probably ended up finding it. And because it's not totally retarded what I'm saying, she may have picked it up. You better let plus Bradley Horwitz, okay? Bradley Horwitz is the VP product at Google+, okay? At Google+, at a department, know when you do the celebrity hangout because we have some trouble with large groups. Also, some of my friends like Brock Predovich. Brock Predovich is the other prolific Google+ master marketer genius guy, whose book I also offer to our students in our content curation course. And others have had some challenge in Hangouts. Okay, and so what happened is this notification went to all three people. It went to Jerry, famous celebrity, went to Bradley, head of the department at Google+, and it went to Brock Predovich, who's the second most prolific, now he's probably before me, a G+ marketing educator out there. I'm just giving him a hard time. He's a really good marketer. And so what he ended up doing is Brock ended up coming back and saying, yes, Russell Wright, which I got in my email box because my settings allows that. I definitely experienced a couple hiccups, but overall was very well impressed. Good answer, especially since Bradley Horwitz probably was mentioned as well and probably has a Google Alerts running on this. Okay, so what Brock did is he just went Russell, thank you, Russell, Jerry Ryan, Bradley. Jerry followed this post, and then she +1'd it. Okay, what this means is that we created a conversation, okay, that was interesting enough for Jerry to pay attention. Now think about think about what happened. Think about how small the world became just there. Okay, yes, I admit that I have a little bit of knowledge and that I know how to use stuff and look professional, and my profile. But again, my profile is not the sweetest in the world. It's not like I'm some kind of Hollywood hunk or whatever. I contacted the appropriate person who is congruent to my marketer niche. Even though she's a celebrity, she's a super geek. I contacted the head of a department of an organization and mentioned that there might be some tweaks, and then if there was going to be a celebrity get-together might be useful for Google+ as well. I contacted Brock, who is also in the same market that I'm in, and I know that a huge amount of his followers are going to see it as well. And I created this great conversation in which, Hollywood actress Jerry Ryan actually plussed. And of course, what does that really mean? Except, okay, it's kind of cool. But this is just one of the hundreds of ways that you'll learn in the G++ course that Google is not just a social media and status update location. And if you treat it as another friend, if you treat it as a Facebook friend button, you're missing utterly the point that Bradley and his team, Bradley Horowitz, who I just mentioned here, and his team at Google Plus are trying to create. This is not a social media platform, and Brock was actually one of the first to mention that to me when I was studying his early work. It's an online platform for our lives. It's actually a social media operating system. And when I say operating system, I'm talking about Google operating system. That is the whole interface, web, and profile database that they're connecting to your profile account that actually helps you get rankings on both the regular natural search engines as well as the social search engines, social plus plus, that is the logged in, the Google logged in. You can see I'm logged in right now to Google. There's an entirely different search engine. So now I've been able to just have an interesting interaction with one of my favorite actresses who's a total tweet queen, and who's got some good stuff going on in Hollywood, and who, as a fan, especially when she was Borg, I enjoy her work, and that's just kind of interesting. So you should meet us at networkempire.com. Go ahead and come over to our site, www.networkempire.com. This and many, many other online social media, search engine, and marketing integration techniques can be used to literally, at zero cost, explode your business. And the main thing that I want to point out is that everything that I just showed you, contacting Jerry Ryan indirectly and directly, and just a loose interaction like that, was done for free. Okay, that should be an all stop for you guys. Let me just get this straight. It didn't cost me anything to have that interaction. And Google has made this so powerful that if you know what you're doing, you can create relationships out of thin air that are amazing. If you know what to say, and you have tact, and you have clarity. Okay? And we're going to show you how to do these types of things. This is what we call the Hollywood method, but there's many, many other methods other than the Hollywood method that we teach you at networkempire.com. This is Russell Wright from G++ signing off.